City of Stevens Point Airport Commission meeting, recorded May 12, 2025.
Airport Commission, approval of minutes of last month, one page.
Full approval. Sorry.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, department claims. Questions? If not, a motion to approve is in order.
Second.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And Joel wrote us a memo dated May 6th regarding some changes in the capital operations and maintenance modification.
Yeah.
And there's a chart behind it, charts behind it. Go ahead, Joel.
Okay, real quick, the two charts, one of them is the one that was already approved for capital operation and maintenance, and in the middle of it, you'll see that the two highlighted figures, 21,250 and 458,000. Those are the approved items, the local share being 21.2. The second sheet modifies that, and the big thing we're modifying here, just to kind of summarize it the way it is in the memo, we've changed our priorities of projects. These came in so late that we knew we had to do planning efforts first in order to spend all of our federally apportioned money. But since the time when we met to get this approved, we've actually put the airport master plan ahead of that. And it's a smaller effort dollar-wise now for two reasons. It's just a different effort, but also even since this meeting, they've changed our local share, what they call our sponsor share, we're the sponsor, to 2.5% instead of 5%. So we're spending even less money than we used to on these projects. So for the sake of kind of, memorializing it here, wanted to redo the 2025 capital plan to include the airport master plan with the 11,800 as the local share. Now that's already covered under previously approved dollars, the 21.5, but tonight at finance, I will be asking finance to cover that local share because again, this came in after the city did their capital, and the local share of projects is a tax levy contribution thing. So Comptroller Treasurer Laddick did put this item on the finance agenda for tonight. So even though we've got the permission to spend these funds if needed, it is an appropriate capital ask of the city. So hopefully they fill that in.
Question on the new capital.
Yeah.
O&M. It appears that you just took the numbers that were originally for 2026 and placed them in 2027.
That is exactly what I did, for lack of any better clarity right now. So what's going on, it would have been just as easy to keep them all blank and say future, because we don't have them programmed with any specificity yet, other than the master plan. They've done selection of a firm and everything for that already. The Bureau is kind of working to catch up on all of this stuff. So as they're able to put a project together, advertise it, and let it, we're able to change our priorities and everything. So a lot of this has to do with how successfully the project before it gets completed, and then what time frame and with what efficiency. So I would say that those years, and I think I might have alluded to it in the memo, or maybe it was in the memo to finance, but there are certainly changes to these years that are coming so much to the point where, I mean, I can't commit to those years at all, other than the one we're asking for right now, which is this year.
I know this would happen to me at the university and go down to the state, always get whacked because I didn't include the engineers inflation index.
Yeah.
To project that $1 million next year is going to cost you $1.1 million.
Yeah, well, to that end, I don't know if you noticed, but on the previous one, the dollar amount in there was 455, and it's already at 472 on this one, on the new, so what was put in for 2026 on on the master plan
Yes.
has 472, because they didn't put in their DOA time. So this is with the Bureau's time. And this is actually a negotiated number, so we know that number to be accurate, where all the others are wild estimates. Yeah,
Aren't
no,
you all?
no question there. And they're not mine, they're the Bureau's wild estimate, yeah.
So the numbers that, moved, the projects are still in the same order?
Roughly, because the design and planning stuff comes first, not just because it has to come first, but because those are easier projects to get out.
Okay.
They've also changed some rules recently where to even begin a design process, you have to have the environmentals done. To get the environmentals done, I don't know how they appropriate the dollars, because they won't appropriate dollars till the environmentals are done. So there's this whole, like, just trust that it's gonna happen thing. It's the same way transit works. We get through 9 months of operation at transit before we have dollars that we know we're gonna get from DOT, right? So, you know, this is where things like sponsor only memos come up, and we may request one in July for a project. But it's basically where they say, don't worry, the money's there. It's just not signed off yet. So if you do a sponsor only memo saying, if need be, we'll cover this, we're happy to get going on the project. But the question then is that, well, the what if behind that is kind of a big what if, because you see how big the dollar is.
Yeah.
11,800 versus $500,000.
Right.
You know, I mean, so there's some faith and hope and fingers crossed that goes into some of this. But so we're a block grant state with the FAA, which means the FAA funnels all of their money and project management responsibility to the state office of the Bureau of,
And they.
yeah. And so until the Bureau
Yeah.
knows that it's in their account, even though it's out there on our behalf, they don't start anything.
Yeah,
So it's wildly
they have
efficient.
the same issue.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So, but this ask here is known. This
Yeah.
one's basically kind of been fully vetted. This is a negotiated rate with the consultant. It's got the Bureau's dollars in it. Our share is known. The stuff below that in gray, I cannot commit to with any real certainty. It's just the project descriptions are accurate. The timeline and the dollars are
Right.
wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So you need a motion to amend.
Yes, yes, please.
I would, support amending the, capital operations and maintenance, budget. As,
Second the motion.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carried. Jason's written report is enclosed. Anybody have any questions or observations?
He has a lighting issue he's handling right now, so he is absent, but I'll do my best if you've got questions. Pretty straightforward stuff.
None for me. Motion to adjourn is in order.
move to adjourn.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carried. Thank you for your attendance. We'll see you in 2 months.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.